What's going down? What's going down? What's going down? What's going down? Straight talk leads to straight understanding. Yes, we are live here. Yes, this is straight wellness, not straight talk leads to straight understanding. This is straight wellness. Tonight we have straight wellness on Fridays night. If you haven't already subscribed, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, like, share. All right, so what goes down on Friday nights at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern is I have Shirma P. Clark, licensed therapist, and she joins me and we speak about just all types of issues that are going on. Tonight, because we have life, Shirma will not be joining me, but I am going to give you a preview of what we'll be speaking about next week. All right, I think we're going to have a conversation about my straight talk, which had to do with this video. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen, because over here on Instagram, you might not be able to see it unless you go to YouTube. You can go to YouTube. The bio's inside the bio is inside the link. What's going on, Queen Arlene? What's going on, Remy Cummins? Hey, Ma, how are you? So what we're going to do, this is straight wellness. I'm usually here on every Friday with Shirma P. Clark, who's a licensed therapist. And we have a discussion. From one perspective is the licensed therapist. The other perspective is a man with a license. And we just have a conversation and we usually get into it. Now, the conversation that we're going to have next week when we do get here is what I'm sharing with you right now will be regarding this topic. That was a very touchy topic when I brought it out. And what it was described as was being a single mom is failure. This is the topic that was said. And it just stirred up all types of emotions and a lot of people, men and women, both. And some emotions were pro, some emotions understood, some emotions just couldn't fathom the thought. Some emotions was like, no, he is an asshole. He is just, pardon me, he is just no. So with that being said, I am going to share with you guys as far as what was said so you can hear it. All right. So with that being said, listen up and listen to this clip. All right.
Because I didn't need my husband. I was already successful and up before I had him. You don't need a husband to be successful. Not at all.
What does successful look like, boys?
Happy in your own skin. Happy with the person that you are and love with the person that you are, that you don't have to look for a man to love you because you already love yourself. And that's what I mean by a successful female. Because success can look in any other way.
Is a successful female going to have children with kids?
Yes, you can be successful with kids. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So how can you be in this, what you just painted out to be successful without being married? And you have a child in this scenario. Without
the child has nothing to do with that scenario.
Children has everything to do with that scenario. So when you said a woman can be successful and not get married, when you add a child to that, she is no longer successful. She is now a single mother. And being a single mother is not success. Single motherhood is failure. A child, a family comprises of a man and a woman, not a woman.
All right. Did y'all hear that? Do I need to play it again? Let me know. Did y'all hear it in Instagram or do I need to play it again? That was a touchy subject. But what I found, and this is what I'm going to share with you guys, what I found in having a conversation with a lot of my people is that, one, ladies, can somebody just type in, you heard that, so I don't have to play it again? Or if I need to play it again, let me know so I can go ahead and play it again. I know over here on YouTube, they definitely heard it because it was built in. But over here on Instagram, that is anybody there? Can you let me know whether or not you heard that dialogue or that video sound that just played? Anybody? Going once, going twice, going once, going twice. Anyone? Yeah, y'all not hearing me. Can somebody just type in yes, no, my Cummings Remy, Queen Arlene? Can one of y'all just tell me whether or not you heard that video? If you didn't hear it, I'm going to play it again. All right? Because it is the topic of the conversation today. Thank you, mother. Thank you. Thank you. All right, cool. Yes, we heard it. All right, cool. So, with that being said, let me tell you what happened. All right. I had, if y'all go to my YouTube from last week, earlier this week, Straight Talk, you will be able to see it. Even on Instagram, I have it there on my Instagram page. I had a guest of mine come up. Her name is Adrienne Mariah, who is a single mother, successful single mother at that. What was really triggering, and I'm going to be using this word more often over the next couple of weeks because I think this word, although it's played out and it's getting tired, this word is an important factor to the disruption between our family unit or our relationships between men and women. And it doesn't just have to be romantic relationships. This also applies and has applied with friendships, with business. There is a gender, almost war going on within our community due to that word trigger and things that trigger people. So, as I was saying, the first reaction that I got from that video, even in just looking at the title, by 90%, if not 100% of the women who replied or who were speaking to me, was immediate offense and defense. Offense that of what they was hearing, and defense for the woman that was on the video and speaking. Now, the men, I would say about 50, I heard no offense by 50% of the men and no offense by 50% of the men. None of them took the defense except the 50% that was trying to defend why they felt offended. So what that really taught me in listening to it myself and just listening to it again is that somewhere in that conversation it was triggered. And what I realized from all of the women who were offended, I asked them a question first and foremost. Do you see a divorce as a failure? First thing that also came out, or that what was triggered in that question was, well, was it her fault? What did the man do? 90% of the time, that was the first reaction. What did the man do? By the women specifically. What did the man do? Which also helped me understand that there was another trigger that just happened. The first trigger was being offended by the comment, which I just listened to, and he said, being a single mother is failure. Now, in the conversation I had today, one of the women who I was speaking with said, he called her a failure. And that's what I had an issue with. And I just listened to it just now very clearly. He never called her a failure. He got triggered. The second thing that I realized, the last trigger of it all was the word failure. For some reason, accepting and embracing the word failure is difficult for a lot of people. I'm finding it very difficult in some of the people that I've been speaking with directly. But it's very difficult, and please comment in anything in any way that you feel, because what I've learned through observing this whole interaction from that one little video, big up to Mr. Let Go, who was the person who actually did the video, it was his video, Mr. Let Go. And what I want to say is that the triggering factors that I learned through questioning and speaking about it, even in comments, because there was comments I mean, the comments are still coming in today from that video. But the thing that immediately happened was defense. Now, you only put up a defense when you feel there was an offense. And so it was taken offensively, is what I learned. Now, what Shirma and I will be speaking about next week in regards to this video is what actually was the offense, how we can change offending one another, and what triggered each emotions, what triggered my reaction, what triggered my reaction, and what triggers your reaction. So if you want to join us next week, just come on in. I'm gonna post the video again on all of my media pages, my social media pages, so that you can absorb it, you can prepare. But again, the things that the first thing in seeing the title says, being a single mom is failure. Now I want you to read this because this was the first trigger that everybody took offense to. All my women friends, not all of them, most of my women friends took offense with even seeing that title. They didn't even listen to what was said. They took offense just in seeing that. Now I want to read it again. Being a single mom is failure. He never said, being a single mom, you are a failure. Never said it, but it was taken personally by almost every person who was offended by it. Their offense was him calling her, whoever he was speaking to, or him calling anyone a failure, anyone who's a single mother a failure. Now, I want to explore it from the standpoint of, is single mother failure? Not you being a failure as a single mother, because there are so many successful single mothers. My mom, thank you. You are a successful single mom. We can get into defining what a single mom is where necessary. But the point is, I know a lot of single moms who are successful in their own right, in whatever they call success. But that wasn't in question. Here's what I learned over the week. A lot of times, and this is why straight talk is why I call it straight talk. It's because I want you to come and talk. Keep your emotions at the door. Because I don't want you to hear from the standpoint of how it made you feel. I want you to hear what's actually being said. Let me say that again. Straight talk. One of the things of why I enjoy doing this is because I want to challenge everyone, men and women both, to listen to things not for how it makes you feel, but for what is being said. And I say that because a lot of us are guilty of listening to things and listening and remembering how it made us feel. You know that old saying, you don't remember, you might not remember the details, but you're always going to remember how it made you feel. That is so true. You're not going to remember the details, but you're going to remember how it made you feel. That's what I want to explore. Because I in my assessment, my observations, this is just my opinion, a lot of our discrepancies, a lot of our button heads is rooted from how words or how exchanges made them feel. And it was never really paid attention to the actual sentiments of what was trying to be relayed in those moments. And where those could have been teaching moments, where those could have been growing moments, where those could have been very positive and active moments, they became argumentative moments because the two people or one of the people wasn't listening to what was being said, but they was listening to how it made them feel. And I use this point and this whole being a single mom is failure post that I posted to lend to opening up the conversation about it. So if anybody wants to join me, please join me. This is Straight Wellness, and the wellness that we're trying to come up with today. I'm usually joined by my host, which is Shirma P. Clark, but she had to do some things for the family, and we always are very, I guess we when it comes to family, we take that very seriously. So I thank you for joining me now. Next week, we will be talking about this, which is this video. I'm going to let the clip play one more again. The title is Being a Single Mom is Failure. It's not saying being a single mom, you're a failure. Please remember that. Please hear that. Please embrace that. Because although it might feel that way, or you might feel that way from the title alone, which I said, I got a lot of resistance from the title alone. I got a lot of pushback. I got a lot of comments in reference to the title by itself of how it triggered and how it made them feel. But in me just reading the title, because I haven't, touched this for the last week, I'm now just reading the title and I'm like, wow, the title actually doesn't make any implications about anybody personally. It's not attacking anybody personally, but yet it was received that way. And I want to bring it to the attention of those people who took it that way. Because if you took it that way, that in itself could be the root and the initiation of where there's conflict. Of course, we haven't even explored what was being said or what we're about to listen to before we took offense to a title that, in fairness, should not be offensive. And that's my opinion. But what is offensive? And come and tell me outside it. Keep your feelings at the door. What is offensive at this sentence? Being a single mom is failure. Especially when you listen to what's being said. All right, I'm about to play it again. What's being said, I'm going to share the screen and listen up for the last time. Yeah, this is the last time I'm going to play it today, but I will be posting.
A woman doesn't need a husband to be successful, because I didn't need my husband. I was already successful and up before I had him. You don't need a husband to be successful, not at all.
What does successful look like, boy?
Happy in your own skin, happy with the person that you are, and love with the person that you are, that you don't have to look for a man to love you because you already love yourself. And that's what I mean by successful female. Because success
Is
can
this
look in
successful
every way.
female going to have children with kids?
Yes, you can be successful with kids. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So how can you be in this, what you just painted out to be successful without being married, and you have a child in this scenario without
The child
a
had nothing to
husband?
do with that scenario.
Children has everything to do with that scenario. So when you said a woman can be successful and not get married, when you add a child to that, she is no longer successful. She is now a single mother. And being a single mother is not success. Single motherhood is failure. A child, a family comprises of a man and a woman, not a woman.
A woman doesn't need a husband.
Woo! I can't wait to have Shirma P on this topic. Ladies and gentlemen, Straight Wellness next week when she's available, we will be conquering that. We also, the following week, will be going to her and I, we had a Straight Wellness last week, and we were speaking about mothers and fathers, which this is one of the topics, but it segues into the next week's topic, which will be not next week, but the 2 weeks down the line, which will be how men and women raise their children separately, co-parent their children, and some of the privileges or lack of privileges that we receive from the partners, how sometimes the child is used as a pawn on either side. But primarily, I will be speaking from the standpoint of a father, with whoever the men that join us will be participating with. And Shirma will be speaking from the standpoint of a mother with any other women who wants to join us. So this is an open conversation that we can have. Next week, we will be talking about that. If anybody wants to comment on what they just heard or what they just saw, please feel free. Please feel free, because it will be a topic that we will be discussing very intensely. And I just listened to it again. And ladies and gentlemen, we need to get out our feelings. And I say that in fairness and in respect to those who I have had these conversations with, who were triggered, who were offended, and who were defending a position. When I just listen, while I can understand abrasive, or it might have been, actually, she was very animated and very adamant about some things. You know what? We could talk about a couple of things. All right, I'm gonna play the clip, but I'm gonna listen to a couple of things that Shirma and I won't have anything to discuss, because we're gonna go get to the meat of where the offense was. But I want to actually just play it and have you guys listen to what I'm hearing. I'm gonna pause it every time there's an opportunity. All right, here we go. First off, let's start here.
And to be successful, because I didn't need my husband. I was already successful and up before I had him. You don't need a husband to be successful. Not at all.
First off, let's start there. You don't need a husband to be successful. You're right. Absolutely correct. You don't need a husband to be successful. All right. So, with that being said, now listen to his question.
What does successful look like, boys?
What does successful look like? What does successful look like? Listen to her answer.
Happy in your own skin, happy with the person that you are, and
happy in your own skin, happy with the person that you are. Since when is success happy? Happy is happy. You should be happy and successful. Success, just so that you know, does not bring happiness. I'll say it again. Success does not breed happiness. As a matter of fact, I know a lot of successful people who are very unhappy. Any comments? Any rebuttals to that? I would love to hear it. Because success does not breed, is not, and does not bring happiness. Can we agree to that? If we can agree to that, let's go ahead. I'm asking y'all online. Can we agree that is happiness success, y'all? Or are we going with her narrative? I'll listen to it again. She said, he asked her, what does success look like? She said, happy being in your own skin. And here's her continuation.
Love with the person that you are, that you don't have to look for a man to love you, because you already love yourself. And that's what I mean by a successful female. Because
so she then went into loving yourself is a successful female. Okay. Loving yourself, you should. And depending on what success is determined, I looked up success last week. And the definition to success, if I can find it for you guys, I will read it. The definition to success. Let's go to a window right here. Type in success. Let's see what it comes up with. Succession is what they put in. That's not what I want. I want success by itself. Let's see. Success. The accomplishment of an aim or purpose, a good or bad outcome of an undertaking. So if we're talking about being successful at being happy, if we're talking about being successful at being happy, what she's speaking of applies. Because, and that could be success, granted. But she was not implying success because of happiness, although she was talking about being happy in your own skin. Okay, let's go back. Hold on, mama. Uh-oh, my mother's calling me and is interrupting the live. Ma, if you want to come on, but I can't take the call right now because we're live. You want to come on home? I'm gonna invite you because I think that you want to join me. So hold on, I'm going to invite you. Ladies and gentlemen, no, she jumped off. I'm going to invite my mother who just called me. I'm sure she has something to comment about, and we will speak about that. I'm going to invite her. She just jumped off. So let's continue listening to her definition of happiness and success. I'm sorry, success.
Success
Is
can
a
look in any
successful
other way.
female going to have children with kids?
Yes, you can be successful with kids. Absolutely.
Okay.
So he said, is this successful woman going to have kids? She said, yes, you can be successful with kids. We're going to leave it there because I definitely feel Ma just invited you up. I think she got disconnected, y'all, but we're going to tackle this more in depth. I don't want to just talk by myself. I need some people to come join me. I'm going to ask some people to come join me over here because I want to have some people in here. Big up. I hope you feel better. Remy Cummins. I know you're under the weather, so I hope you feel better. Sandy Bouldin is unable to join. I don't think she knew that I was asking her to join. Let me ask her again. Hello, Miss Jordan. We were speaking about video that we will be having this tonight. We will be speaking about next week. It's the video that I spoke about Monday about a single mom is a failure. And there was plenty of people who got on. So I ask of you, if anybody wants to join me, I'm going to invite everybody here to come on up. And we can have a discussion about other things. I got my mama, Cummins Remy. I'm inviting you both to join me. Either of you can. I think you called me, so I think you wanted to say something. And other than that, I'm just giving you an update. Hey, that's she got the bonnet on. She got the bonnet on. Ma, you press the camera if you don't want to be on camera.
Where's the camera?
That little thing right below the wording, it's right next to the comment. It got a plus on it. Let me see. No, I'm sorry. It's right under your name. It's a mic, then a camera.
Okay, I see it.
Right. So just press that. And there you go. Now I can hear you, but we don't have to see you.
Okay, I was just conditioning my hair.
I know. But you got the cap on. So we just go just for the vanity of it all. Just hear your lovely voice. So Ma, we have a lot of discussions about these type of things. And Shirma and I, we're going to tackle it specifically, but tell me your comments on what I've been saying, because I know when you called me, it was probably something about that. So go ahead.
No, I was just following to find out what was going on tonight. And I forgot that Shirma wasn't going to be here. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's so good. So what I was speaking about and what we were speaking about tonight was the video that Shirma and I are going to speak about next week, which was one that I spoke about on Monday. Did you get a chance to see it on Monday where it was being a single mom is a failure?
No, I did get to see it because I probably would have had something to say about it.
Well, I'm gonna let you. You just heard it though, right?
I don't feel that a single brother is a failure, just like I don't think a single father is a failure. I think you have to put work into being a parent, be it male or female.
Now, your point is I agree, but let me read it to you again. being a single mom is failure. I put in the word a by accident because I didn't read it. And I think a lot of people put in the word a is a failure. But he said being a single mom is failure. Now, did you listen to what? Now, if you listen to, and this is the whole thing, if you listen to the whole thing, and I'm gonna play again real quick because it's only a couple of seconds. So listen to this.
Absolutely.
So how can you
hold
be
on,
in
nice
this?
one. I'm gonna play it from the beginning. All right, here we go.
A woman doesn't need a husband to be successful because I didn't need my husband. I was already successful and up before I had him. You don't need a husband to be successful. Not at all.
What does successful look like, boys?
Happy in your own skin. Happy with the person that you are and love with the person that you are, that you don't have to look for a man to love you because you already love yourself. And that's what I mean by a successful female. Because success
Is
can
a
look in any
successful
other way.
female going to have children with kids?
Yes, you can be successful with kids. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So how can you be in this, what you just painted out to be successful without being married, and you have a child in this scenario without
The child has
a
nothing to do
husband?
with that scenario.
Children has everything to do with that scenario. So when you said a woman can be successful and not get married, when you add a child to that, she is no longer successful. She is now a single mother, and being a single mother is not success. Single motherhood is failure. A child, a family comprises of a man and a woman, not a woman.
Okay.
For just
So
67
Ma, you heard that. Now, so now go ahead and comment on how you feel about it.
Like I said, that was his comment. Basically, it consists of a female and a male. In order to have that child, yes, you have a female and a male to have that child. What has to be conceived that child is another whole story. There are many reasons why it's not a father and a mother and a child.
You know what's interesting? I'm sorry. You know what's interesting about your comment? I'm sorry to interrupt you. He never said that what was the reason. He never went into the reasons. And this is the thing that I think a lot of people miss. We understand there are a lot of reasons for those circumstances as far as being a single mom and being a single dad. The other thing is that I think he would be able to replace being a single dad is failure. And no one really takes that into consideration, that he's not being specific or attacking women. He's just speaking to a woman in regards to the subject. But the reason why I bring it from that perspective is because from what he said at the end of it was a child and a family consists of a mom, not a mom. He said a man, a woman, and a man. And what he was speaking of, as far as what I heard, was he was speaking of a family, successful family.
Well, that's just considered that what he considers a successful.
Okay. Well, what do you consider a successful family?
I consider a successful family a family that enterprises as a family. It doesn't necessarily have to have a man or a woman, because we don't know why the man or the woman is not part of that family.
And my question to you, I'm not going to. Yeah, you're right, but how do you? How is a successful family not with a man and a woman as far as the child is concerned? How is that possible?
Because it's a possibility the mother or the father could have died in childbirth.
Guess what? That's not a single parent. That is a widow or a widower.
True.
That's what they are.
We don't know the reason why there's not a man and a woman in that family structure.
I mean, reasons is not what I'm debating whatsoever, because there's a whole plethora. It's a whole plethora of reasons.
Okay, there's a whole other reason for whatever reason there isn't a man or a woman in the situation. We don't know.
I understand that, but
Man could have been abusive, the woman could have been abusive.
well, you got to realize
And that hinders that child. How?
he did not say it had to be the father. Once he said a family for that child consists of a man and a woman. He didn't say the man or the woman had to be a biological um person of that child. He said, but for the child, and this is what I guess I'm going to ask you: do you feel a child needs and deserves a man and a woman in their lives? Never mind the circumstances of what will of eliminate that, but do you think that for a balanced, successful child, that he should have a man and a woman in his or her life, in his or her life?
I believe that a child needs both, but there could be many reasons why it doesn't happen.
And this is why I said it's not really an argument on that. I think the offense came with the fact that he said single mom is a failure. He could have said a single dad is a fail. Wait, I'm sorry. Single mom is failure. Single dad is failure. And I believe the context that he was referring to was the family structure that he was speaking of. And if you just said that a man and a woman should be, I think that's what he's really saying as well. Now we understand, or he said, well, he didn't say it, but I believe he understands that not all circumstances are like that. But in reference to when they are not like that, other than the fact that a widow or widower, it's my choice. Either the father's choice or the mother's choice. Or both. Yeah, absolutely. So if they're choosing that, and there's a lot of reasons, so we won't go into why their choices are, but let's just eliminate, the significant choices, like abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse. Mental abuse. I understand that, and I struggle with that. Yeah, I understand it's out there, and I only struggle with it because it is out there, but I sometimes feel it's an accumulation of continuously getting beat up mentally and starting to believe that you are worthless or that you are everything that somebody is saying, which the counter to that is true. But let me give you an example of why and it was given today, an example of trauma. For example, if you get into a car accident, it might and it traumatized you. What do you think is the or the solution to getting through that trauma?
I'm not sure. I guess I would say to try to get in the car again.
Bing, 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 bing. You're absolutely right. So, not physical, but when you address those things that have traumatized you or that have hurt you, in order to get through it, you have to actually um you have to actually face it, or yeah, face it is the word that I have, but
Facing it is true, but if you don't know what's that?
that was me getting a text. Go ahead.
Okay. If you don't know it's a trauma, you can't face it because you don't know it's a trauma.
Well, we've had that
Oh yes, we have.
situation, and you're right, and I had to learn that through our situation, is that I had to learn that where I thought it was denial or lying, it actually was just unknowing. Now the reason why I felt it was denying or lying is because I was sharing directly what was going on, and the problem was there wasn't enough trust there to receive it from me. But I had an issue. Yeah, but I had an issue, and why it was so hard for me to understand that you were unaware, or a person was unaware that I speak to, is because it's like me saying, "Hey, there's a microwave right there in the kitchen. Hey, there's a microwave right there in the kitchen," and then you tell me I didn't know there was a microwave in the kitchen. So while I now can understand it better, I wanted you to understand that's how it sounded to me. I'm sitting there telling you there's a microwave in the kitchen. There's a microwave in the kitchen. And you saying, I didn't know there was a microwave in the kitchen. You telling everybody, I didn't know there was a microwave in the kitchen. And I'm like, but that's my point. You didn't trust you're right. You didn't see it, and you needed to see it to trust it. And that was my point. You trusted someone else telling you there was a microwave in the kitchen. Meanwhile, me telling you, because you still didn't see it technically. They told you and showed you exactly what I showed you. Yo, the kitchen's over there to the right. Right there in front of you, you'll see the kitchen. And I'm using a microwave because I'm looking at one, by the way. But the microwave is right there in the kitchen. You in the bathroom, and I say, yo, you come out the bathroom, you go to your left and make another left, and the microwave will be right there. And you're saying there's no microwave. And I'm like, I told her there's a microwave. And that's how I felt. Like, yo, you blind, you in denial, but in fairness, what I learned through the experience is that, and what I was trying to say as well, is that there's just a disconnect with trust there. And when I shared that,
The same thing as when you say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Because you can see it doesn't mean that the person can see it.
I see that analogy.
Right there in front of you.
I see that analogy, but I'm missing it a little bit, because you're right. I understand what you're saying, but in this case, it's not that the horse is denying that there's water there. The horse is just refusing to drink the water. That's a different thing. We're not talking about that. That's the next topic. When you don't want to drink, you don't want to drink, and that we had that discussion. We used medicine at the time. You don't want to take the medicine. You don't want to take the medicine. My issue is never about anybody not taking medicine. My issue was saying, well, you're not administering the medicine correctly. And I'm like, nah, I tried minister the medicine with the regular way with a spoon. I tried to put sugar in the medicine. I tried to hide the medicine. I tried to shove the medicine down their throat. They just don't want the medicine from me. But I said from me initially, but then I realized that, nah, they didn't want the medicine from somebody else. Tried to give them the medicine too. They didn't want it. So what it boiled down to is they just didn't want the medicine. And when I came to that conclusion and shared that, it was still, I don't need no medicine. And that was where we had the biggest complication, or where I had the biggest discrepancy or complication, because I'm like, wow. And we used a lot of analogies. And I've used a lot of analogies in the past. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to use an analogy of medicine that we was just doing. It's like seeing somebody with a big wound on their arm, and they're looking down at the wound, and because it doesn't hurt them, they're saying, I'm okay. But you looking at that wound, you seeing pus, you seeing the white meat, you seeing the bone, and you're like, whoa, I know you saying you okay, and I want to believe that, but I'm looking at this wound, and that don't look too good. And they're like, well, it's fine, it's okay. Now, a doctor comes and see the wound, say, you need to take care of that wound. And now they're like, okay, I'm going to take care of the wound. But mind you, one, they disregarded their loved one who said the same thing the doctor said because they didn't respect the loved one's evaluation or observation of it. Now, no, that's not a safe, that not in this scenario, because I said you look down, you see the wound. They didn't feel it. They said it didn't hurt them. So they saw it. They saw the wound. It looked ugly to them too, but well, we're not talking about you personally, Ma. I know we're using the same example that I've used in personal conversations we had, but I'm not speaking about you personally. I'm just speaking in general right now. The person sees the wound. They acknowledge that it's a wound, but they say it don't hurt. And the family member or the loved one says, hey, I know you saying it don't hurt, but that don't look too good. You should probably get that looked at, or here's some remedies to cure it. I looked it up and here's some remedies to cure it. And they're like, nope. Then a doctor comes in and looks at the same wound and says, we need to get that taken care of. And now there's a response by that person. So my conclusion to that is that they did not trust the observation or evaluation that loved one told them, because I guess maybe they wasn't a doctor. There's a lot of reasons for not trusting. But the point is, with the root of it, they didn't trust that person's observation or evaluation. So now here we go. They trust in the doctor. Now we fast forward. The doctor now puts a needle in it because the loved one tried to put a needle in it and they almost killed the loved one. Don't put that in me. That's selling me. Now the doctor, who now they agree that they needed some help, they're going to go get some help by the doctor, puts the needle in it, and they say, the doctor's trying to kill me. Why? Because it hurts. And the doctor explains, hey, before you even put the needle in, this is going to hurt, but it's going to make you better. But because they're so deeply running away from hurt, they don't even care about getting better because they don't want to feel hurt again. And so in that case scenario, all I challenge people to do, and I have challenged it the right way and the wrong way, depending on who you ask, is to deal with the pain so you don't have to deal with the sorrow. Now, a lot of people don't agree with that, and I can respect that. It's like somebody who has cancer and doesn't want to do, I don't want to use chemo because a lot of people, that's controversial. Not everybody believes in chemo, but doesn't want to do what it takes to cure the cancer. They rather just sit with the cancer, let the cancer eat them from the inside out, and let the cancer be the demise of their life or their life and their livelihood. Some people feel that. It's a difficult thing for a loved one to embrace, but some people feel it. And I'm learning to respect that. And I had to put in that word learning because I don't think that I have entirely mastered that portion of life. But do you understand? The scenario is, and what are your feelings about the scenario with all of those factors that were just mentioned? Oh, I lost her. Anybody else would like to join? You just heard some of the stuff that we are speaking about, and I will be leaving shortly. Thank you, Ma, for ah. Okay, cool. You're back.
Yeah, I'm right.
Okay. So, did you hear my question?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay.
What is it? Why are we talking?
Why are we talking?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I figured my mother does not want to talk any longer. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to let.
No, I'm just wondering how it became you and I, as opposed to everyone else.
Well, what it is that I asked you to join me because you called, and I thought that you wanted to say something.
No, I called by mistake.
Right. And now you done walked into me. Well, with that being said, all right. You bringing up some very good points, and I thank you for that. And
I cry every now and then.
you succeed every now and then too. I got it. Oh man.
Okay.
So with that being said, I'm going to I'm gonna get out of here. I was just coming on to let people know that Shirma and I was not gonna be here, like she said last week.
Yeah, she said last week she had something personal she had to do.
Exactly.
I forgot.
So I just want to let y'all know what we were going to be speaking about next week. Next week. We're gonna dive into that clip that I just heard. And then the following week, the week after next, we're going to be exploring some of what we were speaking about in last week's conversation, which had to do with the mother and father with the child, and the mother keeping the father away from our bystander that we were speaking with last week. Yeah, so we're going to speak about that. Right, we're going to speak about that a little more thoroughly. I might combine the two because they kind of overlap if you think about it. Single mom and yeah, so we probably will combine it. Right. Well, you're welcome to join us. I will send you a link, and you can be a mom, and we can definitely. Okay. Well. You're right, and that's part of our biggest challenges is that we don't really have to embrace that thought. But again, to the point that you just made is actually a great point because guess what? Just because you birth a child, and I have this conversation with Remy Cummins all the time, because she feels like when you birth a child that you have a responsibility that you have to take on, and that's not true.
It's absolutely not true.
Yeah, you have a that's you took the words out of my mouth. And sometimes people forget that and they take it for granted when their parent is there for them.
A lot of children feel that they trying to think of the exact words I want to use.
Entitlement,
Huh?
entitlement, or
Yeah, title.
yeah.
They feel they're entitled as a child to have X, Y, Z, but they're not. You know, basically, you can have that child and leave it at an hospital or an orphanage or to be adopted or whatever.
I agree.
It's not an entitlement. You know,
I-
it's an entitlement if you choose to make it an entitlement.
Well, it's not even. You're not entitled to being taken care of because somebody birthed you. You're not entitled to be taken care of because somebody chose to have you. You're not entitled. Now, in fairness, it should be something if they make that choice to, they should have to live with the responsibilities that come with that. But in fairness to the parents as well, the choice not to do that might be better off, or might be
Better solution?
a better solution for the child.
Yeah.
It might be to where they can't provide the child, so that they decide to release the child into someone else's care who they feel will be more fit or better suited for the responsibility that's necessary in taking care of a child.
Okay.
So, but just the whole fact that people feel like, well, you birthed me, so you're supposed to take care of me, and this is what you're supposed to do, which a lot of children fall into that category and believe that.
The job is up when it came to the birth canal.
Absolutely.
That's it.
And to be honest with you, shoot, that ain't even, with the artificial insemination, there's a lot of different things that now even the birth isn't the responsibility of the person who canal you went through. They have surrogate moms. Hey, what's going on? So, by the way, all those who are joining me, thank you for joining me. I'm here talking with my mom right now, and this is Straight Wellness. I do this every Friday with Shirma P. Clark, who is a licensed therapist, but she could not join us today. So we was talking about the topics that we'll be speaking about next week, which is a couple of clips that I have. One of the clips is I did a straight talk about Monday, which Mr. Let Go, he said being a single mom is failure. And that just stirred up a whole lot of emotions, a whole lot of commotion. And we're going to discuss that next week and allow those emotions to resurface and see if we can get them settled and balanced. And secondly, hey, Mr. Mika, what's going on? And secondly, so we started talking about the conversations about parents, my mother and I, and the entitlement that kids feel. Yesterday, I was on a phone with Gooch and a couple of these ladies who just joined us, Tamika, Tasana, 40, came on, and we was talking about fellatio, Ma. And there was a woman who was about my age who did not believe in fellatio. And of course, I'm being politically correct in speaking about it because I'm speaking with you. But and the two gentlemen were on the phone. Like, she said, I don't do it. I said, it's not that you don't do it that is the issue. It's that it's not that. Well, she said, I don't like it, so I don't do it. And I said, it's not that you don't like it that's the issue. It's not something that I that's my biggest thing that I need. But the point being is that I'm not asking you to like it. I'm just saying that even if you don't like it, for your significant other, if that is something that they like, you might want to compromise, sacrifice to take care of your significant other. What are your thoughts on that? Because you are my mother. What are your thoughts? I mean, would you would you take care of your husband or your man, even though it was something you didn't like? And we ain't got to specifically talk about any actions that was, any specific actions, but do you think that you should take care of your man, or vice versa, your man take care of you? Or do you feel like you should stand firm in, I don't like that and I'm not doing that?
No comment. I am your mother.
They are laughing down below. They are laughing in the comments. Mama said no comment.
Too much information, my dear. Too much information.
Oh man. Well,
Yeah.
I can respect that, but you
And you are my child. No comment.
oh my gosh. See,
It comes to that part,
I have
your
to.
daughter might say the same thing,
Well, I mean, I'm not asking about specifically fellatio anymore. I'm asking
Okay.
about taking care. Would you sacrifice to take care of your man or not?
It's something that we could discuss.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I that, but I'm just sharing that with you because, huh? What was that?
I said, but for you, it's too much information.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't argue that.
Sometimes I can't debate with you about your woman, and it's too much information for me to need to know.
Well, you gotta realize it wasn't my woman that we were speaking of.
No, I understand.
And I understand. Hold on. Kids are not entitled to be cared for by their parent, was a comment that Miss Jordan Favor said.
Okay.
And to our earlier conversation, we're gonna switch gears so that we don't have to go into that. No comment. But yeah, so yeah, kids are not entitled. She was agreeing with what you said. Kids are not entitled to be cared for by their parent. And there are some people who disagree with that, and I challenge them at times to help me understand why they feel the way they do. Why do they feel like a parent is entitled to take care of the child? And the reply that I have gotten from a couple of people was, well, because they brought them in, so they're responsible to take care of them. And
That's not true. I don't think it's true.
I agree. I can't even. There can be some truth to it,
Oh yeah,
but
but
it's not required. It's the point that I was making is they don't have to do it. Only thing they have to do is stay black and die, was what they used to say. And Michael Jackson proved that wrong. You don't even gotta stay black no more. All you thing you have to do is that.
yeah, you do. And once you get in, that's the only way you get out.
Oh
You
man.
definitely die. It doesn't matter how you die.
Yeah.
You will definitely this world might die.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mama, thank you for joining me. I'm about to get out of here. Thank you all who have joined us here on YouTube.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Those who came on Instagram. Don't forget, tune in next week.
Oh, I will.
5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. You will love it. Shirma P. Clark is amazing at what she does. She is a licensed therapist and life coach, and she's amazing. And we've been good friends before she became a therapist, and we always had passionate discussions, and our discussions sometimes get just as passionate, and you will get to see, witness, and experience that and join in, because we would love to hear your comments. We would love to hear your perspectives, because straight talk, straight wellness, straight anything is created so that we can broaden our perspectives, period. And if we leave here with a broader perspective, that's what it was designed for. So there's nothing wrong. So with that perspective, I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, Miss Jordan, we missing Shirma last week. She said she had to do some things, And so she's doing those things. So with that being said, Ma, I love you.
I
Um,
love you more.
and thank you all, everybody who joined us. Love you as well. And
Thank you.
we thank you for joining Straight Wellness next week 5:30. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Uh, Miss Jordan said, "Thank you, Sean, for broadening our perspectives." Woo, you're welcome. But man, is that a challenge, boy? Is that a challenge? Is that a challenge, man? But and I thank you guys for broadening my perspective because although some might argue, mother, that that I don't listen. I actually do, and I value what I'm hearing.
You do it. You do. Sometimes it's harder, but you do it. I know that now.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if y'all heard what I just heard. I don't know if y'all understand what I just heard. But ladies and gentlemen, what just happened now? No, I am messing around. Oh my gosh. But thank you, Ma, again. And yeah, I can't wait to have you all next week. And Shirma says she misses you all. I spoke with her earlier today. She can't wait to be back with you guys. And I'll leave it here. Heavenly Father, we come to you today to give you the praise and honor that you so rightfully deserve. We thank you for your presence in our lives. We thank you for your guidance that you give us. We ask you that if we are not, if God following your direction, that you help us to follow. You give us the ears to hear, the words to speak, and a heart to receive your presence within us. Forgive us for the sins that we might commit knowingly or unknowingly. And we ask you to extend those prayers on to those who we know and love and those who know and love us, as well as those who don't. Yes, we ask you to be with our enemies, as well as we ask you to be with our friends, because they too need love and we need it as well. So we thank you for this, Lord. We appreciate you. I thank you for having my mother here. Man, this is blessing in itself. Every time I speak with her, I just realize and recognize how much of a blessing it is. For all of the years that I didn't get to the chance to speak, this is making up for it. So I thank you, Lord, for still having her here with me and still being able to have conversations, lighthearted conversations, TMI conversations, as well as very difficult conversations at times. We thank you nonetheless for all of those conversations, because I could be unfortunate and not have to have those conversations. So with that being said, thank you again, Lord. And we say these things humbly in your son, Jesus Christ's blessed name, or however those who I'm praying for may know you. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
All right now. Yes, yes. All right. So I will see you. I'll talk with you a little later, Ma. I will talk with everybody and see you a little later. Don't forget to join us. Okay. Sundays, Sunday Love with Gooch and Carlos on Sunday morning for about 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 a.m. Eastern. Monday, Straight Talk leads to Straight Understanding at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. I mean, Eastern Standard Time. Yes, yes. Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We will have just straight fun and straight comments with Embry and Ja Blues. And then on Fridays at 5:30, yes, straight wellness. We love it. We love it. The wonderful Shirma P. Clark, and she is a licensed therapist, so we get the professionalism, and she is also a good friend, so we get the heart. And licensed therapist and man with a license. Thank you all. As you can see, I'm tired. I need to get some rest, so I'm gonna go do that. And I love you. Good night, Ma. And I really, in my prayer, is the epitome of how I feel, genuinely. So if you don't know, now you know, Mama.
Okay. Same here.